Namaste, angels. This is the full moon in Sagittarius and prenumbral lunar eclipse reading covering a period of tomorrow, June 5th through June 20th, because on the 21st, which many Geminis I know with the birthday of the 21st consider the last day of Gemini, and certain calendars will as well, zodiacal calendars. Some consider the first day of Cancer, and some zodiacal calendars will show that. And it is that day is actually the Cancer full moon. So let's get into it. We're going to very quickly go over what else will be happening so that we're aware at the same time that we're experiencing this full moon and lunar eclipse energy. So, of course, beginning with the 5th, on June 5th at 3:12 p.m., we experience the full moon prenumbral lunar eclipse, 15 degrees Sagittarius. June 10th at 3:26 a.m., Uranus, which is currently located in Taurus for that very long transit, has like another 7 years to go, will be semi-sextile Chiron, the wounded healer, which is located in Aries for like the past year. On June 13th at 2:24 a.m., we have the quarter moon, 22 degrees Pisces, 42. So it's like all those 2s and 4s. 2:24 a.m. is when it occurs, and then it's 22 degrees Pisces, 42 is the location. June 18th at 12:59 a.m., Mercury goes retrograde again. Yay. That's going to be at 14 degrees Cancer. And then again on June 20th at 5:44 p.m., the Sun enters Cancer officially, 0 degrees Cancer. And then on the 21st at 2:41 a.m., the new moon and annular solar eclipse at 0 degrees Cancer. So from there, we're going to go right over to the almanac to see what the full moon is about. My full moon readings, like my new moon readings, I tend to go right into the reading. But the full moons, I like to come to the almanac just to see what's there and go over that. So I find it interesting. I know some of you guys do too. Those that don't, it'll be quick. I apologize. You can fast forward. Some of us like to get this information. So in the evening of Friday, June 5th, just after sunset, look toward the southeast to watch the full moon rise gently above the horizon. There it will appear large and golden hued. June's full moon, known as the strawberry moon, will reach peak illumination at 3:12 p.m., like 3:3, like the Ascended Masters, Eastern Standard Time on the 5th, but it will not be visible until later that evening, if you want to see it for yourself. This full moon brings with it a prenumbral lunar eclipse, which occurs when the moon crosses through the faint outer edge of the Earth's shadow, better known as the penumbra, making part of the moon appear ever so slightly darker than usual. Unlike a full lunar or solar eclipse, the visual effect of a prenumbral eclipse is usually so minimal that it can be difficult to perceive at all. June's full moon, typically the last full moon of spring or the first of summer, is traditionally called the strawberry moon. The tradition of naming moons is rich in history. Here at the Farmer's Almanac, we have long honored the Native American moon names and the folklore of those who came before us. We follow the full moon names that were used during Native American and colonial times to help track the seasons, usually from the Algonquin tribes who lived in the same area as the colonists. The name Strawberry Moon originated with Algonquin tribes in eastern North America who knew it was a signal to gather the ripening fruit of wild strawberries. Alternative European names for this moon include the honeymoon and the mead moon. It has also been called the rose moon, given that many roses come to life during this past year. So I'll just mention it here with the honeymoon. I've been hearing a lot that saying you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. So I think there is a message with this moon to approach things from a more don't be a douche, basically. Being nice and polite is going to get you further than, coming off rude and, like a jerk. Also, I think honeymoon. Well, June is like the most popular month for weddings. So there could be some people could be going through with their weddings, getting married, despite whatever else is going on around them. So congratulations to those people. But I also see like people could be getting engaged, maybe even eloping, going straight to, let's just do it. Life is short. Let's just get married and go straight to a honeymoon, or experiencing a honeymoon phase, like a lot of new relationships or newly renewed relationships reunited, and so you experience that honeymoon phase where everything is really awesome. I just think that that's coming during this period. Maybe, particularly for Geminis, and I say that not because it's our birthday month for some of us. Some of us had our birthday in May, but because Sagittarius rules our 7th house of relationships. So that's your closest one-on-one relationships, which often include your mate or, romantic interests and stuff like that. It could be your best friend too, like BFFs and your closest relationships, your children, your parents maybe, but definitely our lovers, our love interests. So something special could be going on there, especially with Sagittarius being ruled by Jupiter, which is currently retrograde in Capricorn, making it more so even than typical, perhaps all about like abundance, Jupiter gifts us things based on our luck and karma, and Capricorn is largely about abundance. So Jupiter gifting us abundance, even in the area of love, perhaps. And Venus is she's around too. She's actually located in Gemini right now, which she rules. It's not her most romantic placement, but it helps to have her around, right? Did you know June was traditionally the month of marriages, and it's even named after the Roman goddess of marriage, Juno? Following marriage comes the honeymoon, which may be tied to this full moon's name. That was from there. That wasn't from my head. Then it goes on to talk about the different phases of the moon and where the names came from. Historically, full moon names were used to track the seasons, and for this reason, often relate closely to nature. The moon names that we use today stem from Native American and colonial era sources. Traditionally, each full moon name was applied to the entire lunar month in which it occurred, rather than just the full moon itself. A growing moon and a flowing tide are lucky times to marry. So for those of you who are looking to get married, this is some June moon folklore. Days following both the new and full moons are most likely to be rainy and stormy, and crabbing, shrimping, and clamming are best to do when the moon is full. For those interested, they have a whole full moon video here on the site as well. And with that, I'm going to get into the reading. I'm start with the butterfly cards and take the next step now. Also up right behind it is decisions. I could mix these up for you again. Well, let's just, oh, look. All right, so the first card would have been forgiveness. That would have been the card that represents, I'm going to do the spread that begins with the divine being, so you. And the first card that represents us would have been forgiveness. So you could be extending the forgiveness, or you could be the one getting the forgiveness. Who knows? But we'll just mix these up again, even though I promise you I shuffled them well before I started. And I was all ready to use them from there. But, whatever. Why not do a little more in front of you guys? So now we're starting with new career, which could definitely be an opportunity that Jupiter and or Capricorn is presenting to us. And perhaps the full moon and the lunar eclipse as well. Maybe something is ending that allows for a new career. Sometimes I also think about this card in terms of relationship. Not everybody does, but I've been known time or two to call my man my boss, maybe not to his face or whatever, but at least, in my head or, among my friends or something like that. So it can be like a new relationship as well when this card comes up for me. All right, so divine being or couple. The card now is self-employment. Well, that goes nicely with new career. Maybe we're starting our own businesses, finding some sort of opportunity. Like a lot of the stuff that's going on even though, you know, in many ways it's difficult to experience, it is opening doors. Like COVID opened new doors for people to get into new careers and new jobs, and to be recognized maybe for the job they were doing all along that normally had been taken for granted, all kinds of stuff. So maybe you are able to get into some sort of self-employment. Maybe you started making masks or whatever. You know, there's so many different things, again, that opened up as a result of what's been going around. So congratulations to those of you starting a new business during this period, who've already begun. Recent past, we have memories. So things coming up, nostalgia, could be because of the retrogrades. Yeah, especially Pluto, which is about growth and transformation. Pluto's retrograde. It too is in Capricorn. So could be about like things, the ties that bind us to different things, because that Capricorn energy can also be about restriction, you know, and stuff, Saturn. And so things that areas in which you were held back or you felt tied or bound, growth in those areas. But you could be looking back fondly on some of them, like maybe the way you were raised, or again, a relationship, a marriage or something. And now either you've exited it or you're getting out of it, or, you know, something like that. Or you could be thinking about recently, there was looking back to, again, a childhood situation or some sort of past situation, possibly connected to what moved you to self-employment and or new career as well. Near future, sentimental feelings, possibly attached to the memories. You could also, somebody could be coming back into your life or could have recently come back into your life in the recent past. And maybe that's what the memories are about. You could have been sharing them together. And then, of course, that brings up sentimental feelings. You got to decide if you're just feeling butterflies because you're sort of reliving your past, you know, in your mind and stuff, or if there is like a real connection to something. Masculine's higher self. I do the masculine because my viewership is largely feminine. It's like 80% feminine and or female. So I like to look into what's up with the masculine's higher self. And that is grief work. Grief work does tend to come like after some period of sadness. For whatever reason, it's like, for me, sort of like a Four of Swords, like recovery from a Three of Swords. So we experience something, disappointment, loss, some sort of sadness, hurt, pain, separation. And this is like healing from that, going through the motions, making a comeback, recovery, all those things. If you're wondering what's going on with my nails, I wear acrylic, but underneath it is my real nails. And so I haven't wanted to remove them and break my nails, but two broke themselves and like way down. This one just broke today, and you see it broke below the nerve. So there's the nerve still sticking up, and then the nail broke all the way down there. Yeah, I don't know why I felt the need to explain that, but there it is. For anybody who was wondering what's going on with her, that's what it is. My daughter actually went to school. I sent her to school after regular school. She wanted to also go to nail school, and she completed it. And I've been meaning to have her do my nails, and I have not. She's busy. That's not what she specializes in anyway. In any case, blocks to individual or shared progress. Welcome the new. So like being afraid of change, being afraid of moving on to the future, and welcoming the new is the only thing that's holding you back. So it's like you're the only thing in your way. You're the the Capricorn restrictive energy, remember, that's been holding you back. What the feminine can do to help herself, however, leaving. So going ahead and just like moving forward. Could be physical leaving, could be leaving a situation, like physically leaving a situation, a living condition, some sort of circumstance, a job, and going ahead and welcoming the new by doing that, by moving forward. What the masculine can do to help himself, parental care. So this comes up to me or for me in a couple ways. One is where you're the parent and you're the one who needs the care. Like you haven't been doing what's best for you. And maybe you've been being a people pleaser. You've been putting other people ahead of you or something like that. That's one way. Maybe like, rather than, again, you're being afraid of moving forward, afraid of, living your life and stuff like that. So you're the parent who needs the care, who needs the nurturing. It's also literal parental care, where you could be like caring for a parent, taking care of one physically, whatever, nursing one to health, living with one to, so that they'll be okay, having one live with you and your family, your whatever, kids and spouse or whatever it is. And then the other thing is, especially with grief work here, and with this falling on the side of the masculine, masculine could have lost his parent recently, or, perhaps during this period. And, he'll be dealing with that. But like, I don't feel it's going to be that heavy though. I feel like if it is connected to the loss of a parent, it's already happened. And maybe that's why the memories and the sentimental feelings, you may have to do something like go to their house, like clean their house out, or, maybe the thought comes up because it's the time of their birthday or around the time of their passing. It's coming up in the calendar. And so that's why the memories and the sentimental feelings, and then dealing with stuff. Something could be tied to like an inheritance or, whatever like the legal process is that's involved. And I'm getting that also from the Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn. It could be something that's been taking a long time, but Jupiter and the full moon, like gifting you an end to this situation, and the abundance or whatever is supposed to come from it is finally going to come, but it's been like a long time coming. What the universe would have either archetype or both do to help themselves, and even wants to help us with, but we still have to first affirm, like choose it, because we have free will. And that is finances. So again, there's some sort of abundance that the universe wants to give us, help us with. It's something that we have to do in part. For some, getting out of your own way. It's attached to work. It's attached to career. And you're blocking yourself by not moving on to a new phase in your life. And the universe wants to help you to do that so that you can, increase your finances. I definitely don't feel it's, or improve your finances, heal your finances. If there was some sort of loss, again, maybe you lost your job, maybe you've been unemployed because of COVID or something. That's why you're looking for something new, and that's why you've been sad or, feeling down. The universe wants to help you to pick you back up in that regard. With the finances. Also, again, this could be some sort of inheritance or something with the parents, and or for the feminine, leaving a home, leaving a job, moving on to something better, your own space or something. Maybe you've been living with the parents is the masculine's card, but it's mirroring the leaving. Maybe you've been living again with your parents or with family or something, and you're going to go to your own place now. And lastly, the outcome. Seeking and finding. So it could be, again, looking for a new job, finding a new job, looking for a new place to live, finding a new place to live, looking for something, look at the home. I just see somebody going through like stuff in a home, maybe cleaning up a home, maybe they belong to their parents or whatever, and finding what you need. Maybe you got to find some important papers to process or whatever in order to help your parents or deal with something going on with your parents, and you will find it. The universe wants to help you to find it. So as long as you make that focused intention and remain in faith that it's all going to work out, rather than going to the negative and thinking the negative and manifesting in the wrong direction, then everything will work out. Next, because I didn't do it in the love reading. I said I was going to do it here. I'll do the spread from the masculine perspective in terms of love and relationship. So here I'm beginning with the 3 of fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. So the 3 of fire, or wands, is that Sagittarius energy. Wands are all about movement. The energy of fire, or fire signs like Sagittarius, all about movement, travel even. People could be wanting to, if it's not literal travel, then again, you're wanting to move forward. With the 3 of wands, it means that, again, your abundance is coming. And even says here, abundance, things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. It's about faith. Again, it's about believing that, and you have faith, but you also see something tangible. You can see it taking form. This thing that you've been manifesting, you can see it taking form, but you don't have it yet already. Still, once you can see it or visualize it or believe that it's really coming to you, that's when the universe wants you to begin to make the long-term plans based on, whatever that thing you've been manifesting is, whether it's a relationship, a job, a new living space, like that's where they want you to proceed. Like, okay, it's happening. It's not happening today. It might not even be happening tomorrow, but it's happening now. So go ahead and make the plans. And, fits real well here with the 10 of earth. Actually, these are a lot of the cards that I had earlier with my daily reading for my Patreon subscribers. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. This card is about, those things. Security. It can often be about marriage for me, because I think about when it's talking about this very happy family and security and stuff. I just think about like getting married and, being happy, maybe not legally married, but connecting with another person or with some type of family, whatever you decide is your family. And, just being happy that everybody around you is also happy and well, right? Healthy. And like, that's enough. That sort of feeling. But this can also be about actual abundance coming in, whether it's like a lump sum, quickly, again, an inheritance, all those things are possible. And with the magician, which represents the sign of Gemini most directly, this is you manifesting it. This is you bringing it in. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. And then that gives reason to celebrate. The 3 of summer, 3 of cups. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, or graduation, or even a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. That's the feeling I get from the 10 of Pentacles. Also upright, the Princess of Autumn, the Page of Pentacles, basically, who is cheerful, reliable, intelligent, mischievous, a wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion, a scholarship, or maybe a new career, right? Like that we just saw, a new job or something is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. Even if there are difficult things that come your way, you have the ability, the strength, the wherewithal to face any and everything and handle it. Just get a handle. But for some of us, it does have to do with some sort of partnership with Major Arcana card 11, which is a 2 showing up. It can, twos are about partnership very often. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise maybe some forgiveness and compassion. And strength most directly represents fellow fire sign Leo. There is a decision involved. So you're going to have to decide, and it could be a complex decision. You could have a lot of different choices and options that you need to narrow down. You could have a list of pros and cons. All of these are possible. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. And then the 4 of Winter, or the 4 of Swords, which is the card I was talking about in terms of grief work for the masculine. Said it comes after the 3 of Swords. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring you the answers you seek. And this card, you see the koala is sleeping. It's also a card of rest, recovery, and Wow, okay. Also upright, major arcana card 13, release or death, which represents the sign of Scorpio. It's the end of a phase or situation. Yes, that's true. With the full moon and the lunar eclipse, spiritual transformation, and it's time to move on. So all of those are true. Also, again, Pluto, one of Scorpio's rulers, is currently retrograde in Capricorn. Wow, okay. Also upright, the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. And this is like the Ace of Wands, and you see there's a big full moon back there. So it's very Sagittarius full moon. It's also another 11 potentially as an ace. 11 or 1, depends how you, but it could be about partnership too for some of us. And speaking of all these twos, the two of air, also about the need to make a decision, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. So, well, I did say this was the love reading, right? All this partnership energy is coming up, all these twos. So the Two of Swords is not only about a decision that you have to make, but the way that I read it, at least, it's a decision that you are trying to avoid making because you've already made the decision. In your heart, you've already made the decision, but you're afraid to choose. You know, like afraid of the new, afraid of welcoming the new. You're afraid to choose that thing that's in your heart to do, whether it is to start a new job or start your own business or a new relationship or to move or whatever it is, because of how other people may be impacted or what they may think of it. You know, in terms of parents, for example, like if your parents raised you, they always wanted you to be a doctor, and you decide you want to be, like a folk singer, and you're going to be having to stand in the subway with a hat on the ground to get money to get started. You know, even if you have the ability to end up on, the cover of magazines and winning Grammy Awards, you're afraid to tell your parents, I don't want to be a doctor. Like, it's in me to do this instead. So it's that kind of thing, being a people pleaser. As far as relationships, you're going to, deal with that. He's not very cute. She's not very attractive. Or, he's too old, or she's too old, or he's too young, or she's too young. And like, what do other people feel about it? Or same sex. I thought you were straight. What do you mean? So you're afraid for other people to know what your real choice is. But it is a real choice that you have to make, very likely connected to love and relationship or some other very close relationship, familial, or again, like a BFF or something. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness, that's coming up again. And the positive resolution of a conflict. Also upright, the Knight of Air. He is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He's also intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. It means that you have a decision to make, or you're awaiting a decision, or both. Like you're awaiting some sort of information that shows so that you can take off quickly and make a decision too. The Knight of Swords, all about events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. Is this? Nope, still more. Also, the Queen and King of Earth, both here together upright. And that's the last one. And the next card is upside down. It's another 10 of Pentacles. Isn't that crazy? So the Queen of Earth, Queen of Pentacles, she is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. The King is generous, professional, responsible, and practical. With these two cards showing up not only together, but just the same suit of the King and the Queen in this little pile here. Again, definitely about relationships for some, maybe direct earth signs, or maybe signs that are most impacted by either the retrogrades and or the full moon. Like, for example, in my opinion, other than Capricorn itself, for example, with the Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn, it's the other, first and foremost, the other cardinal signs that are impacted. I say Gemini because of it's happening at the same time as all these other transits that are located in Gemini, and maybe the other earth signs, like in that order. That's what I feel. The same could be true about Pluto, though. So maybe the other fixed signs the other fixed signs. So like Leo, which we've just seen here. Taurus, right, which is a fellow earth sign. Aquarius. So those would be the other fixed signs. Anyway, successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered, like that Ace of Wands. You have the Midas touch. So whatever's being offered, like it's a genuine offer, it's a real offer, something you can really consider. So if it is a relationship, even if it's somebody that with whom you've had some sort of falling out before, that you maybe like, you know, have reason to distrust, that could be why forgiveness keeps coming up, because first you have to mend whatever that fence is, and then from there on you can trust them. You can trust that it's genuine. You can trust that it's legitimate, and you can trust yourself too, and you can trust your heart. Like having these sentimental feelings, you know, what does that mean? And I'm really feeling my heart and soul dragging me to do this, but my mind is telling me that that's not the right thing to do. Again, you can trust that it's genuine, but there could be some abundance, or will be, if it's a relationship, if it's money, whatever, but it's an abundant situation here coupled with the Queen. She says, make time for those around you and take a sensible approach. This is kind of like what I was saying, more flies with honey than vinegar. Sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner also. Yeah, definitely more flies with honey than vinegar over this period. The Queen of Earth of Pentacles is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. She, too, of course, is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone like into those traits or attributes. And you may have, you may encounter over this period of the next 2 weeks a feminine energy and or female. And it can be your mother, maybe tied to the parental care. She could be giving you some care, some nurturing, some advice, right? Motherly advice. And it's going to be advice that you should follow, that you should take. It's helpful. Now, I know I'm just saying your parents might not want you to do the job that you want to do or something like that. So I'm not saying that you have to go against your own heart. I'm definitely not saying that you should do that. But there is you might get some advice from someone, again, maybe specifically a female, possibly even a direct earth sign, and they definitely mean you well. So you should at least like listen and consider it, is a better way to put it. Weigh your options, again, the pros and cons, and do ultimately what is best for you. So having mixed up the cards again, we got another 2, nonetheless, with this moon in the background. It is Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess, which again for me most directly represents the sign of Gemini, but also water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. So what that means is, and what they mean by that, or the way that I pick up the energy of the High Priestess, is that she, like I said, you're supposed to consider this advice that you get, assistance that you have coming into you. The High Priestess is good at considering all of the information that she has available to her before she makes a decision. She doesn't like rush to judgment or rush to make rash decisions, as they say. She considers all of the stuff. She also listens very closely to her intuition. You know, she's very psychic and stuff like that. And then when she makes the decision, then she takes action, right? When she's ready. And she probably is not going to tell anybody what the decision is, because she doesn't want to like jinx it or whatever. Also behind that, the 10 of Swords. So it goes with this Gemini energy very well for me. Is the 8 of Swords. Again, fear of change or something possibly. I don't know what that was about. Some stuff just leapt off my windowsill. Fear of change or something possibly. And an illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence and being afraid to take action. So that's what that is. That's not what the High Priestess is. She's not afraid to take action. So you have to work through these feelings first before you can move toward that. 10 of Winter, 10 of Swords, a difficult situation. Maybe that's why you're afraid, because you experience some sort of difficulty and you just like can't believe. Sometimes when we've been stuck in a shitty situation so long, we can't believe that a better one is actually coming for us, you know? And so that's why we're hesitant. But this guides you to go ahead and let that other thing end and look forward to the new. It's the end of a career path. So we have that coming up again. A project or a relationship. Okay. And that brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness. So you have some grief, you have some happiness, right? Relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So, you know, what they're talking about, of course, is like, let's say you get a divorce. And you could be happy, like, I'm glad to be out of that marriage. But again, you're still going to look back. So that's the grief work, right? But you're still going to look back on the memories and the sentimental feelings because you had some good times. You might even be disappointed in yourself or in the partner or both, right? Like, because we failed or whatever. But at the same time, you're happy. Like, I had to get out of that. It wasn't healthy. Same thing could be true of a job. You know, I worked there so long, I can't believe they laid me off, or I got fired, or I have to quit and move on, or, you know, even though I chose to leave, it's difficult. I put so much energy and effort into that place, and now I'm going somewhere else. But, you know, this is guiding you to look forward to that new thing and to completely let the old thing go. Said I was going to do the perspective of the masculine, so we'll start with that, with the divine feminine first. Divine feminine, it is major arcana card 14, balance or temperance in the traditional tarot. Guess what sign temperance represents? Sagittarius. By merging varying points of view, you can now generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate in order to discover a better solution. So temperance is another card of recovery, restoration, healing, what was lost, what was lacking, it gets filled in. That's the way that I read the energy of temperance. But another meaning, and the more traditional one from the tarot, is about coming together to work something out. So again, if you had a falling out with somebody, you had differences, you know, and it could be coming down to black and white, like literally. Our difference, our problem that we couldn't get past is that I'm white and she's black, or he's black, or whatever. So how do we come together? Well, we can come together and become striped. We can come together and be polka dotted. We can come together and be gray. It's like you're figuring out different ways of how you can look past your differences or you know, work through them where they're no longer, you know, difficulties or things that hold you back, right? They're just part of you. Merging varying points of view. So that's the divine feminine. The masculine, as it relates to the feminine, and even this energy right here, is major arcana card 4, the Emperor. So it's more fire. The Emperor represents the planet Mars and the signs of Aries, which we read about, right? I said there was going to be a conjunction with Jupiter and Chiron, I think, which is located in Aries. I believe that's what the conjunction was. Whether we did read about that or not, this represents the planet Mars, ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio. It's all about leadership, right? Taking control back of your life. Even when you feel like small and minuscule, like you know, that's when you got to look in the mirror and realize how tall and strong you actually are, how much you have to offer. You see, he feels like diminutive, but look at the shadow, like how the world sees him. And that's what the card is trying to say about you. You know, that's looking, the world is like looking for you, seeking information from you, seeking what you have to offer. You got to step up to the plate to give it to us. Emperor also representative of like an authority, a father figure. For me, can be large. Of course, not necessarily with the love reading, but large corporations, government agencies. So in some way, your relationship could be impacted by something like that, especially with all that's going on in the world right now. Emperor is also like a father figure, what I call the marrying kind, the marrying type, somebody that, you know, with security. Maybe that's why all those tens of pentacles were popping up. Somebody that, you know, could be a provider, all that kind of stuff. And I like the way they're facing each other, right? The zebra's facing the mouse, or vice versa. The masculine, as it relates to himself, And it is another major arcana card. Major arcana card 12, Awakening, or the Hanged Man. So it's like we're in this period right now, like of limbo. There's some sort of air of suspension. There could be separation, you know, like we're unable to access each other or get to each other maybe. Something's hanging in the balance for whatever reason. And we can't move forward until the energy, you know, moves forward. In the meantime, look at things in a different way. That could be how you come to one of these conclusions of like how you can come together, how you can fix your differences. When you do that, look from other perspectives, everything will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted. Don't worry if it feels like nothing's happening right now, because soon it's going to start moving again and you're going to have figured things out, right? Things will soon start moving again. This is temporary, a temporary pause. Or temporarily something's going on with the government that's preventing you from, or with, again, a large corporation, with your job, with whatever, that's preventing you from coming together. But when that's over, if in the meantime you've decided that's what you want to do, you can, you know, go straight away and do it. That's what it's saying. The masculine, as it relates to his feelings about the union and or connection as a whole, 9 of Spring. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. So this is his feelings about the union, right? It's worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, like things that get in your way and, you know, cause you delay or something. But you'll get through them just as you have in the past. Overall, the 5 of Summer. This is like planning for disappointment, right? Worrying about disappointment before it even comes. Not counting your blessings, not realizing how good you have it, you know. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties, rather. So that you can move onward and upward. So this is a 5, like this is a 5. And I said this was a card of recovery too. So this can be about, well, it's not a card of recovery, but it's telling you how to recover. It's, you know, by changing your mindset, by thinking positive, as I was talking about before, rather than focusing on negative, which can cause you to manifest negativity. Switch your mindset, right? Free your mind, the rest will follow, basically. What energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection during this period. And it is another 5, a very nice one though, in terms of relationship. Major Arcana card 5, Unity, or the Hierophant. It's all about commitment, right? Up to and including even marriage, contracts, higher institutions. So that can be what that's about. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. That is another meaning of the Hierophant. It can be about the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves, and, you know, making sure that they align with us and with our vibration. They should always like match our vibration or be higher than ours, from, you know, so that we can learn something from them. What energy the masculine himself is willing to give to the union or connection over this period, it is very nice. The Princess of Summer, the Page of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. So again, there could be some sort of connection, whether it's romantic, something going on with a BFF, maybe you had a falling out, you're going to fix it, a family member, maybe even your parent, father, mother, we saw on the other spread, something you care about. And the outcome. The Page of Earth, who is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging and maybe even a new area of study. So the Page of Earth or Pentacles, as it relates to love, is it can be about like if you're in a long-term relationship, a committed relationship, it may be kind of boring right now. It may have lost its oomph. And that could be why this Nine of Spring is showing up. For those of you in a long-term relationship, a committed relationship that's gotten sort of whack, maybe you did have a falling out or something, it's saying like, you know, think about it before you just give it up. Like you put a lot of energy into it. You put a lot, you know, of work into it. The relationship that you created was a good one. It's not telling you not to leave it if you feel you need to leave it, but to think about it first. If we're single, right? So we're not in a committed relation or otherwise unattached or whatever. As in not in a committed relationship, exclusive or something. That could be with the Page of Earth showing up because of what is in our heart to do or not do. And so that's what you need to use this Hangman opportunity for, to be honest with yourself and to maybe use this Hierophant energy too, to be honest with yourself and to figure out, like, is my heart maybe still attached to my ex? You know, is my heart hardened because of some sort of bad experience that I had and I don't want to move forward because of that? You know, is my heart just cold, right? You know, maybe to relationship or whatever, right? Attracting and manifesting the kind of relationship that I want. Those are all the things that the Page of Earth, Page of Pentacles means as it relates to love. So, again, intuitively and maybe even alternatively, also about the new opportunities around you. So some of us may be putting a lot of energy into work, into new opportunities that are directly like a literal translation of the Page of Pentacles, something having to do with a new opportunity in terms of money or the material, and maybe that's why we're not you know, as attracted right now to our relationship, and so it's gotten sort of but again, if you want to save it, this is guidance on how to save it. And if you don't have one and you've been wanting one and can't seem to figure out why, then this card is telling you during this period, then you may want to again, take a moment to figure it out, to be honest with yourself about where your heart is, where it lies, with whom it lies, and then, you know, take action from there accordingly. You know what? Let's, I was about to take these up, but let's clarify these a little further with, how about with these, with the Universal Love Oracle? So we'll mix them up a little bit first. All right, and it took us right to the Goddess of the Moon. You see the moon there. So this is about surrender. Anytime I see feminine naked body or naked body in general, when you're naked, you're at your most vulnerable, right? So that's all about surrender. And of course, moons, full moon, moons in general are about surrender as well. And eternal flame, this is, you know, it speaks kind of for itself, but it's also like very fiery. So I think it's like these two together are very Sagittarius full moon. And I think also, again, speaking to us, to many of us, about long-term relationships and connections that we have. And this brings us to celebration as well. So we saw celebration at the start of this spread with the Three of Cups. So again, there could be some sort of reuniting, reconciliation, maybe an actual, you know, marriage or entering a commitment or something, some sort of offer, hearing from somebody, you know, nice call, nice text. We work something out. We put our differences aside or we merge them together. And that's cause or reason for celebration as well. Let's see what else is up right behind it. Is birth. So you got these two Pentecostal like doves back to back. This is very like something ended and something's beginning. Right? This is like being reborn. It's very Scorpio for me. Or like death and rebirth. And the next card is upside down. It's transmutation. Okay. So the feminine, the masculine as it relates to the feminine, himself, the union or connection as a whole. Overall, what energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection during the period. What energy he himself is willing to... Oh, I didn't do this before. What the universe would have either or both give to the connection, and it even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, and the outcome. So I can also get another card from the other deck. I'm taking... Now here's the deck again. Here's the High Priestess. So I'm taking the next card. All right. Atop Temperance is Transience. And these cards kind of even look alike, right? All this is like the stripes. And this is definitely recovery. And also like surrendering into the recovery, the restoration, that everything's going to be okay. Allowing for it to just come together organically. So I think this is support for this. And where this card, for some of us, it's not about merging anything together. It is specifically about restoration, recovery. Where there was lack, we're being made to feel whole again. She looks like that. Like that's what's happening to her. The masculine is relates to the feminine, or specifically with this, and it is abundance, which we've been saying. So also this card, I would say, possibly connected to an earth sign, or it's, you know, connected to earth energy. Again, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Here atop the Emperor. Atop the Hanged Man, we have message from afar. Remember I was saying I felt like this was about separation or something, like we can't access each other. So the message could be literally, especially with this crossing the Page of Cups, a message coming from afar. But message from afar for me is also what's very fiery. First of all, I see Mars, I see Jupiter here. It could be a message coming from one of them, or coming from the universe in general, or God, or it could be something like literal, like long distance, you know, or because again we're separated, something's coming through. But you know, don't ignore your intuition or exclude that. Like that can definitely be how the messages are coming. The Hangman is another very spiritual card, as is the Hierophant, and so it can be about you receiving those messages intuitively and or even in dreams, because the Hangman most directly represents the sign of Pisces, which is you know, that Neptune is that dreamy energy. And we did see the Seven of Cups come up too in one of these spreads, in terms of the need for a decision and maybe making a pros and cons and narrowing things down and having options. That's all Piscean energy too. Like, you know, could be a whole bunch of dreams and goals showing up at once, and then you got to try to choose what it is I actually want. Atop the Nine of Wands, it's telling the masculine to protect what he's created, either in his own life or the union, the connection as a whole. Answered prayer. So maybe you're trying to figure out, well, how, Sway, how? Answer prayer. It's about manifestation is going to help you. This card also very Aquarius. Aquarius may be, you know, significant in this scenario for some of us, or a water sign, maybe most specifically Scorpio with the butterfly or air and water in general. Like if it's not specifically Aquarius or Scorpio, could be air and water situation or scenario. But more importantly, answered prayer is about answered prayer. It's about manifestation, right? We made some sort of focus intention, and now our dreams, to take it back to the Piscean energy, our dreams, our goals, our wishes, you know, being granted, coming true, things are taking form. We've created something, right, through our manifestation. That's what manifestation means, right, to create something. So it says protect what you've created. Whatever it is you prayed for, you manifested, protect that. What energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection? It is healing sounds here with the Hierophant. So, again, the Hierophant is a very spiritual energy, spiritual card. Healing sounds to me is too. It's about meditation, and it can also be about hearing, for me, literally hearing the sounds that you need to hear. Like, I forgive you, I'm sorry, I love you. To me, those are healing sounds as well. They restore us. And so we could definitely be hearing some of those, especially with it mirroring, again, the Page of Cups, which is about messages, offers of love. Page of Cups may be an actual water sign. This card is very Pisces to me too. Cancer, Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, of course, or making some sort of offer of love. But the masculine himself, what energy he's willing to give him to the union or connection himself. And it is tantric union sitting here atop the Page of Cups. So wanting to make a real connection, and if we can't make it in person, how about energetically? How about, in an ascended realm, like through our spirits? And with it crossing this message from afar, which is coupled with the Piscean card, the Hangman. So to me, these two piles are very similar. This is Pisces, right? It's the Page of Cups. So it's the mutable sign would be the Pisces, the youthful, the Page, right? And then here you have the Page, Pisces again, and you got this message from afar, this fire, and then you have it here too, this fire, and they're surrounded with the blue. And I think it's all speaking about the again, some sort of access for whatever reason and in whatever way, whether it's literal and physical or it's just energetic. We felt like we could not or emotional. We could not access the other person the way we wanted to or fully. And so this is what the masculine is wanting to really attempt to do this over this period, is to connect. Overall, so atop the Five of Cups and is the gateway. So again, this is another card that's telling you about counting your blessings and realizing what you're being offered, an opportunity to walk through the gateway. Rather than saying oh, but it's not exactly how I wanted. I don't have everything. It's not picture perfect. Being appreciative of the opportunity that you do have, and are you going to take it or not? What the universe would have each or both of us, but in energy to give to the union or connection, and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm, is healing some pain from the past, or with someone from our past, an ex or something. Or a relationship with a child or parent that's getting in the way of us moving forward in our other relationships and even in our, our love relationships. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. So in the past, there was some sort of hurt. Universe wants to help us to fix it and to be happy instead. And the outcome. Spiritual growth. And again, we saw the Page of Pentacles before. So this is definitely connected to growth, because this is about, again, you deciding after visiting with yourself in a spiritual way whether or not you want to maintain or fix an existing relationship or long-term commitment, or somebody, again, that you had a tight bond with from your past. Or if you're single, can I finally let go of this situation from my past? This thing that's in my heart that's blocking me from moving on. And when you do, of course, that is spiritual growth. I have so many decks here for the advice. I didn't even realize. From the Keepers of the Light Oracle, for the advice to the masculine, your card is hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth and choose loving thoughts. So this is going right along with what I've been saying about the thinking positive, changing your mindset. That's what it's all going to be about. For the feminine, we have Diana, focused intention. Right, that's with the manifestation as well. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high and expect the best possible outcome. So again, it's about mindset and you focusing upon positivity. And then that's how you bring about the answered prayer. From the Ascended Masters to the masculine, clear and shield your energy, says El Moria. Don't let anything or anyone, again, access you, make your decisions for you, access you in a way that is adverse to you, right? And only beneficial to them. Don't let them access your thoughts, your minds, and make your decisions for you is the one I'm really, really getting. Whereas the masculine was there trying to be like a people pleaser and allowing what other people felt he should do be what he does and make his decisions for him. You have to take that emperor, and well, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want, but the cards are guiding you to. What I'm seeing is for you to use that emperor energy and recognize how big, how huge you are, how powerful, how strong, and make your decisions yourself from your heart, from a place of love and hope and acceptance of who you are and what you're here to do. From the Ascended Masters to the feminine, listen. So this could be connected to the all this Aquarius energy that came up, and or the message from afar, or even the Page of Cups that wants to offer you some sort of message. It's about receiving, right? Being open to it, and also the messages that that are coming in. Listening to those, paying attention to your intuition, all of that. From the butterflies to the masculine, seeking and finding. Oh, I must have put the card that I used at the back. So let's see. Well, seeking and finding, go ahead and accept that one for you. Finances we saw, grief work we saw. Parental, okay, yeah, that's what I did. Sentimental feelings. So what's the next card? Memories. Self-employment, leaving. Okay. So just so you guys see, these are all the cards that were from the other. I had put them in the back rather than the front. So when I pulled from the back for the advice, I got them. So just so you see that that's what I'm taking away. And the masculine's rightful advice card is adult children. So before he got the parental care, and now he got adult children. So again, he can easily be the parent, and he has adult children that are, that he's dealing with, that are maybe blocking a path for him, or that could be for whom he's living and trying to make his decisions for, or perhaps their other parent. So if it's a male masculine, perhaps the mother of these adult children is who's in the way, or her energy's in the way. Even if she's somebody from the past, maybe if there was hurt there, that could be what's preventing him from moving forward in a healthy way with somebody else now. All of those are possible. So he could be the adult child, because it could be about him, something going on with him and his parents too, and or siblings. That could be what the Six of Cups is about, some sort of hurt and pain from there. Maybe he has mommy issues, maybe he has daddy issues that need to be dealt with over this period of 2 weeks. If he's the adult child, or he could have the adult children, and he could be the parent from the last spread, the parental care. But obviously these, he's getting a matching set. He's getting the parental care and the adult children. For the feminine, welcome to the new. So we have all these endings with the full moon and the lunar eclipse, and then that gives way to, again, birth, new birth, rebirth, and the new. Welcome to the new is also from the other spread. So our rightful card is what? Windfall. That's just as good, right? This is the abundance. Windfall. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine, the Ten of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life's out of balance, and that can cause stress-related health concerns. So for some of us, some of you, it's literal, right? I just said about the Page of Pentacles that I felt that somebody was like too caught up with work or something, and that's what was affecting their love life. So for some of you, it's that. You need to just be social. You need balance in your life. The Ten of Fire, Ten of Wands can be about the need for balance, right? A need for 50-50. So I spend some time doing this and working and focusing on serious stuff, and I spend some time being happy too. Like you can't always be in one mode. It's not healthy for anybody. It can lead to actual literal physical health problems. On the bright side is that the Ten of Wands, or the 10 period, means that we're coming to the end of this cycle of this energy. So it will dissipate soon. It's a temporary thing, like the energy that we saw show up with the Hangman. It's temporary. This could be talking about your temporary inability to, again, to connect with somebody or to be social. But when you have the opportunity, you're definitely guided to. The Angel Tarot to the feminine is another High Priestess. Major Arcana card 2, again, represents the sign of Gemini most directly, but also connected to the water signs in the tarot. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Listen to your intuition. The feminine just got a card called Listen, right? And I said it was like intuition and stuff. Yeah, so now they're confirming. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting, which is also what I was saying about, like, the need to decide during this, again, Hangman period, this air of suspension, this pause, what it is, what's in your heart to truly do, what you truly desire, what you truly want, and then go for that. From the Animal Tarot to the masculine, the Ten of Summer. Beautiful. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or chosen family. I think I even used those words during this reading. I said, like, whoever you've chosen to be your family. So it could be a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children as possible too. The Ten of Cups is about being happy, basically. Just feeling in a moment that you don't need anything else. Like, you got love, you got happiness, and you're good. For the feminine, the Two of Autumn, Two of Pentacles. So another card of indecision and of the need for balance in your life. Maybe spending too much time focused on work and career and not enough time on your relationships. Again, it could be connected to this Page of Pentacles and what I was feeling about that. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and your personal life and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. So the masculine got the Ten of Wands, we got the Two of Pentacles. They're both telling us that we need to, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy and Jill a dull girl. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine. Another card about memories. Golden memories. So you see all the fire too? So for me, this card, it speaks about the need to let it burn. You take your memories, you take your positive, your lessons, the things that made you feel good, but you let that other stuff from the past, the people, places, and things you're holding on to from the past that are actually holding you back in your life. You let those things go, let it burn. It's also the way I pick up the energy, not necessarily connected to any one specific person. It's more often, or more so, tends to be connected to negative emotions. So things like regret, the inability to forgive, resentment, pride, ego, fear, right? And different types of fear of rejection, like I said, or fear of commitment. All of these things that are coming up, and you got to let those things burn, because that's what's holding you back. And instead, you just take the positive stuff with you, the golden memories, and you move forward in your life. Fire sign may be directly, significant or attached to this, but I think it's more so showing up because of the Sagittarius full moon. But it could be a Sagittarius, a Leo, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes that is significant here. And lastly, for the feminine, our card is Golden Path. This card for me is and has always been very yellow brick road, right? It looks like the yellow brick road. And at the end of the yellow brick road, if you've seen any of the movie, the play, the whatever, at the end of the Yellow Brick Road is the Emerald City. Well, for divine beings, at the end of the golden path, basically, is the Emerald Ray. And that's the ray of healing, restoration, recovery. And so it's saying you're on the right path, keep going, and you're going to continue to grow again, spiritually, emotionally, and to heal from your past, evolve into a better you. Hope you guys have enjoyed the moon reading. I will be back with something else. If you did like the video, please actually like the video by giving it a thumbs up. If you don't mind sharing, or if you're one of those people who likes to share, I appreciate it. Do that too. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. And I've recently been told that I need more people to comment. See, a lot of my viewers and subscribers comment to me. They send me private emails because it's about their love life and stuff. So I totally get that. But and it could be false, but I've been told recently that commenting helps with the algorithm that makes the videos helps the videos to be seen, people commenting. So if you don't mind dropping down in the comments for what you might have to say to me, I would appreciate that too. Namaste.